What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We are back for another Play Out Loud QSC DJ discussion. Jeff, is it snowing up there in Jersey or what, man?
Nah, I'm in the winter.
You're playing,
I'm in the winter spirit.
He's always got to show us up with his cool toys.
Sometimes it snows indoors, right, Jeff?
Sometimes it does.
I feel like I'm back in the East. What's going on?
Yeah, we got a new face today, guys, and so we're gonna go around the room and just kind of introduce ourselves. So if this is your first time watching a QSE DJ discussion, my name is Nate Nelson. I am located in Dallas, Texas. I work for a company called LaForce Entertainment, and Kings of Prom is our school brand. And also on my team, I'll let Tony, since he's the new guy, introduce himself.
What's up, guys? I'm Tony Pre, originally from the East Coast, repping New York, but now I'm in the Big D, Dallas, Texas, working with LaForce, DJing, emceeing, having the fun with Nate Nelson.
Yeah, and Jeff, Jordan, you guys want to... Jeff, you go first.
Oh, what's up, everybody? JSG, Jersey boy. I work for the SE Event Group. Here to chat. What is it? Chop it up with you guys. Chat it up, whatever it is.
Chopping and
Welcome
chatting.
back. Haven't seen you guys in a while. Chatting and chopping.
Jordan's the one chopping. He's in the kitchen.
Always. I'm always. Listen, I gotta have the food, the drink on hand. You know how we do it. What's up, guys? Jordan Marshall, Explosive Entertainment, an East Coast guy myself, and it's great to be back. I've been on and off a couple of weeks, getting ready for the holidays. We are a full-service event design company that loves great times, loves high-end bar and bat mitzvahs, weddings, sweet 16s, corporates, any excuse to have some fun. And if you guys are looking to do it, we got your back. What up?
And you didn't say what I thought you were going to say there at the end. I thought you were going to say, after all that spill, and I love to fly coach.
I love flying coach.
Bring him where because he just did a post a couple days ago. If you don't follow my man, Jordan, you should put the @ sign in front of your stuff. But if you see on all of our names, those are our social media handles. So if you're not following us, make sure you follow each one of us. We'll follow you back. We'd love to connect and just kind of share our knowledge and share our wealth and maybe just chat it up and have some fun because it's all about the relationships and the networks. And we're gearing up for a crazy 2022. And today we're just going to talk about our holiday seasons. We're going to do a little session on show and tell on some really cool things that we've been doing here recently. And I'm just excited to be back with the boys. It's been a couple of weeks. Did everybody have a great Thanksgiving? Yeah, it has been.
Yo, it's crazy. Like, everybody got to spend time with their family for Thanksgiving, but I'm still here working. That's it.
Yeah,
like,
man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I worked too Thanksgiving. I actually got a call to DJ for the Macy's, the big Macy's Day Parade in New York City, for their official marching band. And
nice.
it was pretty cool. Like, just to see these kids from all over the country. They said that 3 million people in person, 55 million people on TV. They're like, and hear the behind the scenes. You think what we do to produce an event? Yo, the footsteps are saying that you got to go from like this block to that block, and it was actually really interesting for me to like. It was cool to party with them too, but it was cool to hear the behind the scenes.
Well, Jeff, maybe you know the inside on this. Like they take an entire year to produce that show, right? Like that's literally what everything's just dedicated to, right?
They do, yeah, yep. They take 2 weeks off, and then they start. A lot of it is like recruiting talent. Like once they figured out that, because they're very, I guess, very particular. So it's just they don't pull anybody, but and then they also bring in some alumni to march with them. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And Jeff, did you make it on TV?
No, I did not make it on TV. I was there afterwards. I didn't have to worry about any of the New York mess. They actually came to a hotel in Jersey, like right outside the city for that.
Gotcha.
But it was pretty awesome.
Cool.
Marching band's got to have a good time too, man. Marching band's got to have a fun time, bro. That's it.
Yo, they let loose. That's for sure.
Jordan, how was your Thanksgiving?
Man, you know what, dude? It was dope, bro. Like, I actually got to get out of Jersey. I got down to Florida for a little bit. I got to see my parents. I got to see my brother. My mom and dad and my brother moved out. My brother moved to Tampa, and my parents moved into the Orlando area probably about like 4 or 5 years ago. So it's been a little bit of culture shock. Growing up, you got your family around you, stone's throw away, and then all of a sudden they're gone. So, like, I get to see them, a couple of times a year. So I got to get out there for a week, and it was awesome, man. Played some golf with Pops, and it was nice weather out in Florida. I went to Universal Studios with my brother. So it was just cool to like kind of cut back and be a big kid.
Awesome. Well, I know we haven't been on since we actually had the DJ collective, and so this is a DJ discussion, and 3 of the 4 of us were there. Jordan, you've been to the collective before. Unfortunately, last minute was not able to make it with us this year. But let's just give a quick recap, kind of on our thoughts on that. There was some phenomenal speakers, some phenomenal talent, great time had by all, and actually Jeff and Tony and I were on the production end of that this year. Jeff, if you guys haven't seen the recap video, Jeff and his team at the SE Media put together. Jeff, do you have that video available to share?
Fire.
I actually don't have it on here. No.
Okay.
That was so good. So good.
That video is phenomenal. Just an awesome week of, DJs from all across the country. I think there was 97 of us in attendance that were attendees, and I think there was about 25 on staff, producing that show. We had talent. We had DJ Jazzy Jeff. We had DJ ADMC, DJ Caper. We had Fat Man Scoop come in with DJ Scooter and Digital Dave. The parties are always one of a kind, epic, and the speakers this year blew my mind. I would say my favorite.
Man. Can you just say that lineup? Can you just say that lineup again, really quick, Nate? Really quick. Just please.
So the show started the first night of the conference. A lot of guys flew in on Monday. They did master classes. And then on Tuesday, the actual show started. So we had the session started at 1 o'clock. The mornings were open for registration. We're DJs. We don't want to get up early and sit in a ballroom at 9 a.m. So things started a little later, which is something that I love about this particular show. And, we did some stuff in the main ballroom on day 1, had some great speakers then. And then after that Tuesday day of sessions, the guys had a few hours for dinner and then came back and we had a party outside by the pool. And we started things off with DJ ADMC, rocking it, which if you've never seen him, if you don't follow him, I highly recommend. You can literally find him on Instagram, DJ ADMC. The dude is a wizard. It's just he inspires me, inspires probably all of us on this platform because he's so amazing.
His Twitch kept us active during COVID, baby. His Twitch was the fire show, bro.
Yeah. And if you guys follow me on Twitch, we're doing a Christmas stream on December 22nd, and ADMC's on that lineup. So if you see me or follow me on socials, I'll be looking for that link to jump in on that raid train because ADMC is a absolute animal. So right after him was DJ Caper. And she was also heavy into the Twitch world during the quarantine and the shutdown, which is why we're here. We're all back to doing these virtual things. And then finished the night off with, I wouldn't say finish the night, but finish that particular part of the party that night with the GOAT, Jazzy Jeff. And he played for like an hour. It was phenomenal. And then after that, everybody went inside because we had a noise ordinance, and ADMC continued to play for another hour, 2 hours in the speakeasy. And that's, if you know Joe Bunn, you've seen the photos of him hanging on the speakers and just going wild. And it was just such a different experience.
Almost crushing Digital Dave's laptop, that whole chestnut.
Things like that, for sure.
And but that was just so exclusive to get into, too. They couldn't even fit most of the people in there.
Yeah, if you couldn't get into that main room, you were sitting on the patio or listening from outside, and they had security at the door. Like, we're at max capacity right now. You can't come in until somebody leaves. It was like one of those kind of deals. But that was just day one. I also love
the evolution. I was at the evolution too on that day 1, man. That's the first time I think collective wise we had a female, like a dope female rocking like up there main stage. Like, so hats off to the ladies doing their thing, man. Like, DJ Caper. For those guys that didn't catch that, yes. Nate said that is a female who rocks it, who rips it, and that's the first time we did that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Wednesday, the recap for Jeff's got the video. It looks like now he's yep, there it is.
You knew he was gonna let you get with that, right?
Let's make Jeff full screen, but I don't have any audio on it, Jeff.
Yeah, I could turn it up. I don't know if you get the audio, but
or Jeff, if you want, just talk us through, man. It's all good. You were there.
Yeah, you can just talk about it. I can just You can just kind of talk about it.
Yeah, so as you see, like, the experience, I think that's one thing that Brian, Jason, and Joe really put into the show is the experience aspect of, the conference and being able to experience things that you're not going to get anywhere else. Where else could you go see ADMC, Caper, and Jazzy Jeff? back to back to back, and you're almost in arm's reach of them. Like it's they're right there. You're not in a big room with 150, 250, 300, 400, 500 people. You're in a tight knit group, and the experience is insane. And Scottsdale, Arizona is such a sweet background. And this year the theme was We Rise, and they did this whole thing with the phoenix. And so if you know the story behind the phoenix is that the bird rose, and we're coming back bigger, better, stronger this year than we did after a pandemic year. And so Dawson High played. There's my team at LaForce. We did all the production, and SE did all the media for this. And so it was so much fun just to watch the whole thing come together after weeks and weeks and weeks and months of planning, and just kind of getting all this stuff through, and just to be back with your boys again after having a year off from COVID. A lot of really, really great things happening. Tony, what was your experience being as a staff member your first year with the collective?
Not like it's so crazy, because the last time I went to any type of conference was DJ Expo in like 2015 when I was 15 years old. So
apples and oranges, bro.
Exactly. Like it's
apples
crazy
and oranges.
Something so huge to something so exclusive and tight knit, and there's so many powerhouses in the industry there, talking and hanging out, and just the fireside chats to just the communication between people. It's like the amount of knowledge you bring home after something like that is
crazy,
unreal.
The creativity in that room is stupid.
Yeah, man. Like I came back and I was just so motivated to get going on social media again, and just kind of networking, like just kind of taking everything up to a notch. And I think everybody felt that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at these parties, guys, and just
crazy,
insane. Jeff, phenomenal job on that edit. I know you guys worked.
And hats off to you guys, man. Like you guys produced the hell out of that show. From a guy who had FOMO the entire week, I was like tears running down my face, just like every time there was a post or like a recap from the night of the party. I'm like, my God, this is like literally from another planet. Like,
and the toughest thing about that too is like there's so much footage, right? And you're thinking like this literally could have been like 20 minutes long, and you're like, and you're thinking about attention span. What can we squeeze in there? And my goal is always to try and get as many attendees in that video, because like the crowd is the attendees is what makes the video. There's, like you said, Jordan, there's like so much energy, so much knowledge, so much whatever. We always overshoot. You're always and then we're there all night trying to figure out.
I was about to ask you the $1 million question, Jeff. How many hours did you actually get to sleep during this? Because I know how you guys roll. I know 11. You guys are probably up all hours of the night.
I think I slept 11 hours the entire time I was there.
Yeah, it was.
I went to bed the first night at like 4 and got up at 7. And so being the lead production for my team, we had daily briefings with Brian B and Sicily every morning at 7:38 a.m. And so no matter what time I went to bed, I'm in that war room discussing the plan for the day to make sure our team's ready to go and produce that. And so for me, it was a totally different experience. I've been an attendee since the very first collective, when there was just 12 of us.
Nate, I'm impressed, bro, because it's sometimes hard for us to get to the war room or get up. Like, bro, the fact you did that day after day, man.
Yeah.
Nice job, dude.
Well Thanks, man. I slept very hard when I got back to Dallas for a few days. It was well needed. And I think another thing that is different that you can kind of see and notice in this, but you don't see a lot of the same speakers at the DJ Collective that you see at other shows in the country. Brian and Jason and Joe do a phenomenal job of bringing in people that are outside of our industry and give you a different perspective. And there was a lot of times where I was not in the actual ballroom during the speakers because I was setting up the party with Jazzy Jeff or setting up a party here, working on other things and overseeing other things happening. But I've been back. We recorded all of the content and Jeff did the film, but we recorded all the speakers and all the things that happened in the main sessions. And so I've been going back chopping, and I literally was like, I've been taking a little bit of time on all these video edits, and I got to Jesse Itzler, and I like literally found myself like 45 minutes later, never even did one edit. I just watched his entire seminar because the dude is such a captivating storyteller. And from the moment he stepped on stage till like he was off, it was like, I want to watch it. And it blew my mind.
If you don't know who that dude is, I mean, he's the guy who pioneered. Well, first of all, I didn't realize that he was a rapper too. He was a rapper.
Yeah.
What?
But
Yeah.
then they created the entire industry of private jet rental. Right, that was his first thing. His wife owns or just sold
Owned.
Spanx.
She just sold Spanx for like
Spanx, which is like billion with a
$1 billion.
B.
Yeah, I think they sold it for $1 billion.
Yeah, and this guy, and literally,
Nice.
you know what the coolest thing? You know what's the
It's a
coolest
good
thing?
deal.
Not one,
It's a good deal.
Quick little payday.
not one slide on there, right? The guy just had his name up there, and he just story told, and you're just like,
And Jeff,
the whole time.
you know, I had to go through everybody's slides for our production team, you know, weeks in advance, and they had deadlines and all this stuff, and we got his, and I was like, I knew he was a big deal. If you look at his Instagram and things like that, you know he's a big deal, and his slides that he sent to us was like his name, and then a second slide was his name with his Instagram handle, and I was like, okay, so he just doesn't want to give us his secret sauce. He's going to show up day of, hand us a laptop, and say, here, put my presentation on the screen. But no, it was just his name on there the whole time. There was no, like, visual stuff to look at, but there was not a sound in the room. Everybody was entirely captivated with him and listening. And, you know, he had so many different talking points of an entertainment aspect to a business aspect to the different things that he's done. Like, and that's just something that, when are you ever going to get to do that? It's just like 2 years ago when you had the guy from Fire Festival that was up on stage doing the fireside chats and things like that. So many crazy outside the box speakers that you would never think would be good for a DJ audience, but I think a lot of the guys leave just going, "Oh wow, you know, it's so worth the money, the experience." Yeah,
That's something I think that you know, like you were saying too, Brian. You know, Jay and Joe are really good at you know, like you said before, Nate. The direct port to these, you know, keynote speakers is something you're like, how does that even equate? How does a private jet, you know, company equate to what we do in the DJ world? But, you know, I think
my favorite part, you know, how Jesse got on there, Brian was like, Brian paid to be in his coaching courses. And then Brian got to know him through coaching. And then Brian was like, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, hey, do you want to come and speak to a group of DJs? And, you know, would that be something you'd be interested in? And when he came back and said yes, Brian was like, yeah. And Brian told the story, like, Jesse is one of my top, like, 5 or 6 people in my core of who I can coach and count on and mentor and things like that. And Jesse comes up on stage. The first thing he says, he's like, I didn't know I was in your top 5, Brian. You know, like, that's really cool.
Nate, I don't have to fly coach anymore. Now I don't have to fly coach. Like, we're good. You got me hooked
Never
up.
again.
What's up?
I guess let's private jet it wherever we want. I don't know the dude. It was Brian B.
But even think of that. Just like not even talk about the speakers. Just talk about like I always equate like just the DJ collective, right? It's not. It's like if you look at the price tag to go there, right? It costs. But just think about all the times we sit down with families and couples and corporate clients. The same way that the DJ collective tries to show their value, we have to do the same thing all the time, right? You know, people like I saw some of these Facebook chats, like some of these, you know, private groups that like I kind of creep in and watch, and they're like, bro, that's bullshit. That's how can you pay that much to sit there and someone tell you how many things you should post on Instagram? Is like, it's just crazy if you just think about like something like that, the amount of value that some people in our industry don't even understand, but at the same time, they'll sit there and complain how they lost a client to someone else over like price versus value, right? So I always think about that. Like next week, I'm going to my first Engage Summit, and that's costs a little bit more than what even the collective is. But I'm doing the same thing. Like the value that I feel like I'm going to get from that is like unbelievable. So it's good to see like the 4 of us who've either been there in the past or were just there, and to show other people that the price tag isn't what you should be thinking of. It's like what you can turn your price tag into after going to something like this, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of people that...
Yo, 100%. You nailed it, Jeff. Yep. You nailed it. Because I know where we've been able to take our bottom line. Nate, I know your bottom line is just recently raised. Mine too. You guys, like, it's awesome. And it's all because of these, you know, these melting pots that we are privileged to be a part of.
And it's not it's a mentality set where you're like, yeah, you can pay the money, you can go to the conference, and everybody, if you sit into it, is going to get the exact same information. It's how you can interpret the information. We all have the same exact opportunity to be great, but we don't all have the same work ethic. We don't all have the same, mentality, drive, things like that to go and put the effort and the energy into being great where you want to be. If you just want to sit back and say, yeah, I'm good, and be comfortable in where you are, then you're never going to grow. But if you go and make those opportunities and spend the damn money, like and then put the time and energy into it, the sky's the limit. Like, That's one thing that I love from Jesse's talk is like he said one of the lines, I think the greatest line of the entire conference was, if you don't have a seat at the table, make one.
Yeah. Tony, what'd you think of the show? It's your first time going to it, right?
Yeah, dude, like everything you guys are saying is just it's exactly how I felt. Like I've never been to something like that, and just to be sitting at that table, kind of like how Jesse said, like, you know, making that seat to talk to somebody new. Like it was the first time I ever met Jeff. It was the first time I ever met Jason. Like a lot of people that I've like talked to online, and just now I'm seeing them in person. I'm like, oh my God, I actually get to, you know, talk to these guys on more of a personal level.
And it's welcomed and it's welcoming. Like they want to talk to you too. It's not where it's like, oh hey, like don't get too close, you know, stand 10 feet away from the cage kind of thing. Like no, like it's like, yo,
you know what's crazy is that
everyone legit shares. It's great.
For real. Oh, yeah. And I think that it was even more close knit this year than it was in years past, just for the simple fact of the virtual world that we stepped into in 2020. You know what's insane is, if you guys know what Crate Hackers is, like Aaron Traylor and Mike V had never met each other in person until
year.
the DJ
I heard
Collective.
that. No, I heard that. I had no idea.
They have been doing like a weekly podcast like this, like we do, and they're like boys, best friends, talk on the phone, text, all the things, but they'd never been in the same room, never been in the same spot at the same time, and knew each other. And you know, you just go, and I had a lot of relationships like that through Twitch, like with guys that I knew were at the Collective in 19, but I didn't have a relationship or talk to them. But then via Twitch and other ways, you just walk into a room now, and it's like, the virtual world blows my mind, and it's still it's kind of wants me to lead into our next topic, which is going to be kind of our show and tell stuff. And because I did something that I learned through the virtual this past weekend. Tony and I did an event together for a family that I've worked for. This is the third wedding I've done, but Jeff's already got his stuff up, so I'm going to let Jeff do show and tell first, and he can talk about his white jacket, because I think that's going to steal the show anyways. It's my favorite part of the weekend. When I was on surfing the gram on Monday,
that comes up.
I loved Jeff's white jacket. So Jeff, hit us with it.
Yo, so I just want to set this up really quick. So this is a rescheduled wedding. Originally, Jason Jan and I was on it, and then because of COVID, they rescheduled. So they were originally planning, I think in the toast, the dad said it was 1,089 days from the second they got engaged to the day the wedding happened, right? And this bride and groom, like,
that's a lot of days, man. That's a lot.
Almost 3 years.
Long time.
It's, you know what it turned into? A lot of overthinking. The bride walks in and she goes, dude, I'm sorry, he's a groomzilla, before I even met the groom, right? And I've only met him virtually, whatever. And like the week of, he's like, I have these ideas. I want to do this voiceover. He ordered he's like, you ever see the Tiesto concerts with the bracelets that change colors? I ordered that. We're going to do that, like all stuff. I want you.
You ordered RFID for himself?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Dude,
this client
crazy
found RFID for himself. What?
Here's the laptop. Make it work. I'm like, okay. He's like, I want the violinist on a ladder during cocktail hour. Like,
what did this guy?
Crazy
Jeff,
stuff.
what does this guy do? What did he do? Do you know his profession, that he was so like gear oriented and like?
He's an officer. He's a policeman. He also is a realtor. And as a joke, he printed his real estate information on all the bar napkins, because I guess it's a family thing. I swear to God. Yeah. So it was a kind of joke. So I got to show you now. Anything.
How to make all that money back?
Oh, sorry. Let me go over this one. Sorry. So this is the bride and groom. Now this is the middle of the night. This is the groom now. This is another thing. The night before, 2 a.m, he's like, dude, I want to play. I don't even know how you say it. Pajano? Is that how you pronounce that song? Pajano?
Eric Prydz? Yeah, Eric Prydz.
Eric Prydz, right. Yeah. He sends me, he's like, yo, I'm bringing my keyboard. We're going to play this. I need you to coordinate it with the sax player, the violinist, and the percussionist. We're going to do this. I want my wifey to have the CO2 gun. So literally, this has all happened 12 hours before the wedding, right? Anything that wasn't bolted down went on their shoulders. This is our percussionist, Crystal. This is Crystal's entire drum kit in the air.
Really?
They picked her up, put it on someone's shoulder, picked up the whole drum kit, started marching around the room. Bro, like, it was the most insane.
What?
It was the most, so yeah, so this is somewhere, I'm in there somewhere, right? That's our violinist to the left, sparks are going off. This is PK behind us. He's doing some Instagram shit for us, simulcasting up on the screen. And this wedding, just to let you know, the music we played, the bride side was Polish and Greek. The groom side was Italian and Spanish. Yo, so like it was literally United Nations in there. So yeah, right. So there's our sax and percussionist right there.
Yeah.
The white jacket. Yes.
So this is the jacket, and the groom.
Jeff, that could be literally like your staple photo for every like. Yes, it should be your profile pic for everything.
JSG, aka Huggy Bear. I love it.
Bro, the groom walks in and he's like, dude, he's like, I want everything, every single moment to be as over the top as possible. So I'm like, all right, what else can we do? My sax player Gabby walks in with that jacket. I was like, yo, let me see this jacket. And you know, like we made it snow inside and stuff like that. It was like winter theme and shit like that. It was like sparks, clouds. So the second half, I put that on, like, you know. And
the real talent is that Gabby's jacket. Gabby's jacket fit you perfectly, Jeff. That's the best part.
Yeah, I know. Well,
and
that's
the only thing you're missing from that photo is your crunk. What do they call the crunk?
The crunk glass. Yeah.
The crunk glass. That's it.
Right.
And your grills.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows, like,
a
Greek
big clock on your as a necklace.
Yo, and you know Greek weddings, right? They like make it rain on the dance floor and everything. So this is one of those. I think it's called Zembico, Zemekiko. I can't even quite pronounce it, but
you got it.
So yeah, so that's
what it is, though. Yeah.
Right. So the groom he has a glass. In this case, it was tequila. They dance around there. They make it rain. So pretty much every 12 minutes, the staff at this venue was like sweeping up like thousands
trash
of dollars.
bags of dollars.
Trash bags of dollars. Like it was like incredible. This is what we did for dinner. He's like, I want a big moment. So this is our violinist, Emily. And she does this big performance. We'll have the lights move, dancing on the clouds. This was the best man's son.
He's so intrigued.
Dude, literally, so they put the headphones on him. I don't know if he was autistic, whatever. Like the kid was having a blast, but she came out there and literally, like this kid just stopped moving and just like boom. Like it was the most amazing thing to like. I love this picture because the power of music. Like if you're in there and then to see this moment, literally watched her play all through dinner. It was like I don't know, like super heartfelt, emotional. I was just like, God damn, like just the power.
Like a kid like that, where's he going? You know, like he knows his parents. Like he's totally blown away right now. Like
he was like just circling, have a great time, and it was like that almost brought tears to me, like to watch like just this shit going down. And, so that's the bride and groom out there. Like literally anything that wasn't nailed down, like they were picking the people up. There was we had this photography crew, the photographer, they put him up on the shoulder. Like it was just chaos. Every mom, like literally anything that wasn't nailed down was just up in the air. It was insane.
And number of people, how many people were on this? Like how many guests?
260.
What'd you run as far as your sound? Like what were you power like sound wise? Like
we had like a main setup in the front, like bottoms and tops. To the sides we had wash speakers on like a zone, and on the other side wireless. And
we're doing zones.
Everything.
Cool.
Yeah, so everything through the touch mix. And this is one of those rooms. The room's called the Palazzo Ballroom. When you walk in, max capacity says 900 people, right? So it's massive. So what I did, and it's a QSC thing. Why not talk about the touch mix for a second? The amazing thing about that was, like for my intros, I keep the main sound in there. All the other perimeter sounds was like 100% microphone, 20% music. Because the biggest thing in that room is that the sound is so boomy. It's hard to hear. Like the music's okay when you're on the dance floor, but it's hard to hear emceeing. It's hard to hear toasts. Like the blessing, like any of that kind of stuff. So, and then like Bird would take the iPad. He would like go out there and just like constantly monitoring. Once we got into the party, then we just kind of like brought the side fills up a little more. But that's the best way for me to tackle that room is to like put all that stuff on those on zones and. But I was just super proud because that room is like a big nemesis for me. It's so overwhelming. No matter how much you put in there, nothing looks big and just. And
it's so great to stand in the middle of the room with that iPad or walk the room in the iPad and get your levels exactly the way you want.
Well, Nate, you were doing that this weekend at our ceremony.
Yeah, I ran vocalists. I had two vocalists with the track, and I used the Rode mics for my ceremony mics now, and
Yeah.
if you go in and pull the EQ on the lavs for the preset lav in the touch mix, if you set those for the Rhodes, it is crispy. Like
Those presets are killer.
yeah, I've had
How
no
are-
problems with
How
those
are you?
Rhodes.
How are you setting those up, Nate? Is that just on a stand, or are those all up mics, or how are you? What are those mics set at?
So they're I don't think I have them
You
with me.
use
They're at
one as a
home.
lav, and then you use the stick, right, as a microphone for like
yeah.
readings?
So
Right.
if there's readers or anything like that, I'll use the second one as a stick, and then if I don't have readers and it's a big space, and depending on how outspoken the bride or groom is, I'll put the second one on the groom and just go that way. And I have a white lapel and a black lapel, so I'll put the black on the officiant and the white on the groom, so it matches into his typically with
Yeah,
his shirt
dude.
and
And
stuff like that.
another thing about that,
Nice.
touch mix too, is like we had there was our sound system plus those the two other zones, and then we had sax, percussion, keyboard, violin.
and
the
they all
fact
have
that, like,
presets too.
Right. So, and the fact that even just the keyboard was like literally, he was telling me this. I woke up to like the messages of him like 2 a.m, like, hey, we're doing this today. Just the fact that we get there, preset, boom. Like my old mixer, 100% would have just been throwing up at this event. And there's so many moving parts. The fact that little fucker, that little app controls all that stuff going on. I was like, literally, as soon as that wedding ended, I was like, fuck yeah! I was like, yes! It was great. Like, so it was just a big moment. Just all that stuff, like, coming together.
came together.
When we're doing all these crazy
Yes.
things, and you got a couple that is just looking for.
And we're moving so
level 12
fast, dude.
chaos.
It's so
Oh, I know.
fast.
Yep.
So fast.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was great. So
Yeah.
that was me. Sorry,
Hats off,
I
man.
know.
That's awesome. Real killer.
Yeah.
No, you killed it, bro. You killed
Absolutely, dude. All right, I will share. Let's see if I can do this. Let's do a video file first. I don't know which one this is.
Hopefully, it's with your pants on.
So this is actually a recording from. I filmed this with my phone of my computer screen. That's why it says "Daddy" in the back. That's in my office at home. But so this is kind of just the setup to it. So brought the bride and groom in, and you can see I have a GoPro on my table now, and Tony's over there handing the CO2 gun. But I'm gonna stop sharing this one and pull the other one up.
Too
Brad.
bad it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
crowd-
saw you.
that's
I saw you had the video, right? I saw it on Instagram where you were like showing the 2 rooms.
Yeah. So how do I remove this? Okay. I keep turning myself off. That's what I'm doing.
Wow.
Somebody
Jordan,
wants dinner.
you need to get
Somebody
that
wants
dog
dinner.
under control. So this is no, that's not it.
Hey, man, I got the guy here. I got the cable going on. The dog. Sorry.
This is gold right here. This is complete
It
gold.
is.
So this video right here, that Tony, this is Tony on in the side room. So to set the story up, what it was, we had we had the whole 4th floor is this building. It's a new hotel in Grapevine. The ballroom seated was like 200, and then they had a second ballroom about 200 yards away that was 15 tables with 10 each, so 150 seated in a second room. So all the main event stuff happened in the main ballroom where the dance floor was, and they were like, we have way too many guests. We can't fit them all in there. Is there any way to film this and like pretty much live feed into the other room so that the guests that are seated over there can see the introductions, the first dance, the dad's toast, all the things that happened in the beginning. And so we brought in 2 70-inch TVs, and we were doing sound check. So I'm in the other room. If you see in my right hand where I'm on my S11, I've got my phone in my hand. So I was on FaceTime with Tony so I could talk and sound check, and he's over there telling me my levels are good all the way in another space. We ended up running 100 foot of HDMI and did some wireless HDMI technology to get the signal even further over there. But it was crystal clear, and Tony's like, say what's up to Instagram on FaceTime. So I literally was like doing this sound check. I just looked down, and he filmed me. But it was really cool to be able to send something that I learned during COVID and quarantine and the streaming process to do an idea that a bride had and just is it possible? And I'm like, yeah. And Tony and I were absolutely ecstatic. It's like Jeff said, when it all comes together the way you want it to do and everything runs perfect, and you're just like, that was a very stressful moment for me going up to it because we had the mindset. We'd never done it before. We said, okay, this is possible. But we're like, how can we get the audio over there perfectly? We ended up running the audio through the ATEM and ran it through HDMI, and then just ran 2 RCAs out of the back of the TV on the audio out into the RCA ports on my K8s. So we just put 2 K8s next to the TVs in that room. It was full sound for that room for them, so they could hear intros, they could hear the dad's speech, and they could watch it on screens in that room. And it was amazing, and we were able to do that. And then what I ended up doing just for some of my own personal content was I was able to film, and I just hit record on the ATEM. And so I had the entire party from start to finish recorded, except for the dinner time. Tony stopped recording during dinner. We didn't want to, fill up a hard drive with that space, and was able to just go over and have some fun and party with these people. Oh no, it says I can't play the video. I don't know why. I was trying to show the other one, but it was a challenging thing that I was like, okay, let's test our limits and see what we can do. And it ended up being like flawless. And Tony, if you want to give your input on it, I thought it was just.
I think the biggest takeaway from it was just it goes to show that you can really just do anything the moment you can figure something out. So like if you kind of put those pieces together beforehand, like me and Nate the week before we're talking about it, and he was like, yeah, I'm just going to run these 2 wireless receivers out there. And I was like, okay, so what are we going to do about audio? We can't run zones. And me totally forgetting about the RCA ports out, and then just putting them into the back of that K8 that has that RCA input, and being able to control the volume also from the ATEM. So we didn't even have to adjust the speaker volume, was crazy. And then back to the touch mix, you can go in there and adjust your aux level. So everything.
So I ran a separate aux to the ATEM to be able to control those levels, so I could set the different mics, all the different things, and we tested all the things and via FaceTime, because you can't take the Touch Mix app over to 250 yards away from where my Touch Mix was and run it that way. So we're able to go over there, and Tony's on FaceTime, down a little bit, up a little, and test. And I was like, this is going to be my max volume during the party, and so we never had to change anything, and we literally streamed to that room until the end of the night. So if anybody was over there doing things, they could just go sit in the room and watch what was going on at the party, because I had the GoPro on me. Tony was able to run the Astaire tubes on one hand and run the ATEM on the other hand, switching camera angles and doing different things. And it was crazy. It was a lot of fun to be able to do that. And this is a family that is a very prominent family, baseball family. The dad was a Major League Baseball player. The first 2 sisters that I DJ'd their weddings, they're both married to professional baseball players. The third
Nate,
daughter is married to a professional baseball player.
Did they book that room initially knowing they were going to have too many people, or did they book the room and then the guest list started to get out of control?
They booked the hotel. This hotel's that new that they booked the hotel before they knew capacity.
Okay.
So they had actually booked the hotel before it was built and before it was finished. They saw renderings. They thought it was going to be, they thought it was going to be bigger than they anticipated. And then their guest list, and they booked, during COVID as well, where they didn't know if they were going to have 200. They said we're going to do 200 people. Their wedding party was 55 people. Their head table was 55 people.
Those introductions, they were so good, but
dude, it was the worst. On and on, and I'm like, can we just do the whole group as one? And she's like, no, we wanted to introduce everybody group by group.
So they had a full football field of 2 teams as their pretty
55,
much
55 people at the head table, dude.
There was a football game going on at your head table, yeah.
Yo, it's like you go do a bar mitzvah. We're gonna do 55 candles. I need 55 songs.
Oh my god.
That's what it's like.
Oh my god.
Did they didn't have a song for every couple, did they? Did they have a song for every couple?
No. It was one song for. It was one song for all of the group, and then it was one song for their 2 matrons of honor and 2 best men, and then one song for the bride and groom.
Damn.
Now, Nate, quick question, man. So, obviously, there was more. This is a way more intricate setup. There was a lot of detail that went into this, a lot more detail than your average, wedding celebration. What would you recommend to, our listeners, people that are tuning in, as far as setup, getting on property, how many people, what kind of timing did it take to get this all together?
So at La Force, we have a company standard that if whatever the ceremony time is, so if the ceremony's on site, ceremony's off site, we arrive 3 hours before that. So they had a 7 p.m. mass, and so we got to the venue 2:30 3 o'clock. What time did we get there?
Probably like 3
No,
o'clock.
no. I think you guys showed up here.
No, we didn't get there till like 4:30.
Yeah. So we got there at 4:30. Yeah, we got there at 4:30 because guest arrival was 8:30 p.m. And so we gave ourselves 4 hours.
4 hour.
The load in for this place, though, is you unload at the loading dock, you go down the hallway to an elevator, it takes you to the basement, then you push all your stuff under the hotel in a basement to another elevator up to the 4th floor through a tiny hallway, and we had two 70-inch TV cases, we had my mirror booth table, we had all my speakers, all my gear, we had a photo booth, we had 30 uplights.
My armpits are already. My armpits are sweating already.
I got a third pack that was all our streaming gear and one stuff. It was crazy, but there was, we had a 4-man team. It was Tony, myself, Julian was our lighting guy, and then Gina was our photo booth.
But I mean, let's be real. That's a rock star. That's a solid squad, dude. Like, you're going in there. That might as well be 8 people.
Yeah, Tony and I can pretty much. I mean, for the rest of the weekend, Tony's a miniature version of me. I kind of, when I mold someone to be an assistant and a DJ, like, okay, I want you to be able. Like last night, I had Jordan Kahn did his annual Christmas party that he does. He does a Christmas concert, and so I had a party booked last night, last minute. It was like a week ago that they booked, and so I was doing that, and I wanted to go to the after party. So I text Tony. I was like, yo, you're the only person I trust that could come strike my shit sight unseen. I could just walk out the door. You're the only person I trust on our team. He was like, nah, I don't feel like it tonight. So I ended up striking by myself and getting out. But I was like, what, you don't like money? He was like, nah, I just don't feel like it.
You're like, I love money. I just don't like all the pressure, baby. I don't like all the pressure.
Yeah. So it's cool. But it was, when you have a team you can trust, you feel like you can go in and rock, and crush it.
Facts.
Big
facts.
Everybody on our team knew exactly what they were doing when they walked in the door. That's something that I believe in. And a word of advice is if you don't have a pre-plan when you walk in on an event like that, and you just go in and everybody starts touching one thing or the other, like, it just ends up being chaos. So you have to have a plan walking in the door. All right, Julian, you're handling all the perimeter lights. You're going to handle this and this and this, and Tony and I are going to go set up TVs first, and then we'll go tackle the sound, and then, Gina, you're on this, and then you come help us do this. Like, it's a plan, and you got to have that going in. This is kind of, if you can see this room, it wasn't that big, but I'm going to share this video real quick. This was the second to last song of the night. Oh, shoot. And this is where Tony got kind of having fun with the
ATEM.
The ATEM towards the end. Brad, if you could bring this in. Do you have audio on that?
No.
No? Of course you don't.
It's there, but it's low.
Yeah, there was still probably, I don't know, 200 guests there still, Tony, at the end?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was towards the end of that.
This was second to last song. Yeah, this was 12:45 because I was supposed to end at 12:30, and we went till 1, right at 1, and we got home at 4:30. We got home at 4:30 a.m. that night. So, and then I'll bump up.
Killer.
We did. I've been building. This is something that I'm going to give away a secret right now that I do that. It's kind of, some people may think it's lame, but I set up a one more song chant. So when I line people up for intros, I'll tell the wedding party, I'll be like, hey, you guys are my fuel. Like, you guys push this party harder than anybody. I said, I'm going to say we have one last song at the end of the night, but it's not going to be the last song. We've already got another song planned out that we're going to do. So when we get to the final song,
really cool.
I need you guys as a wedding party to start that one more song chant. So we build an encore into the party, and then I'll go in, and I typically have been playing Pitbull "Don't Stop the Party" because you're asking for that one more song, and it's been raging lately. So that's been kind of cool as an idea if you want to do something different and extra to build moments like that in there. There are going to be moments that 90% of the people in that room don't know that we staged it and set it up to be that way, but it's just to set it up, and you can get crazy photos and more energy at the end and go that way. I had a 100-pound CO2 tank that was non-siphoned that we could not flip upside down for the life of us, and so I built that whole moment up. When I said it didn't work, Brian Groom came up, like, we just got this new LED cryo gun, And I'm like, I play this. Scooter has this edit that's unreleased. That's, DJ got us falling in love, and it goes, and it just drops into a big room drop, and it didn't work. And I was just like, epic fail on the cryo on that side because photographer, video, everybody's ready, the whole room's raging, and then the groom's like, shh, it's just making noise, but nothing's coming out, and I'm like, oh no. I was so sad. Other than that, it was a seamless party.
We got an echo.
Yeah.
You guys hear somewhere?
There it is. My bad. It's gone. I unmuted the computer audio to see if that's what it was on the video. Yeah. How are we doing on time? Holy cow. Today has flown by.
I'm telling you, man, it's a good episode. We're keeping it moving.
Yeah, Jordan, do you got anything to share, show and tell?
I sure do, man. I got some stuff back here. I get Brad. He's in control back there. Bring it up.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, guys. I'm gonna take you guys back probably about I don't know, maybe like 2 months now. So this one that is coming to the table is for my boy Ethan. One of the cool part about this show is that you guys get a great mesh and a mix of all different types of events. As you know, Nate, Jeff, the guys, Tony. They're big with their with all their wedding work.
Jordan, did you share it? Because Brad said he doesn't have anything.
I did. I sent it to you. Remember, he said, "Send me all your stuff." I emailed that to you. I never heard back that you didn't get it. So.
Is this the one for where you had all the pixel tubes in the sky and they did the LEDs with Ethan? Yeah, you showed us that.
Correct.
Last time.
See, there you go. No, but then I showed you like one of those. Like, there's a whole folder on that. There's a ton of stuff.
I didn't. My bad. I told you I went to that after party last night. I got home at 3 and then took Melissa Fancy and Danielle Cord to.
So let me paint the picture. I get an email from Nate being like, "Yo, bro, yeah, just send me your stuff, no problem." Definitely in your inbox. It's it's in Nate's email right now.
I'm 100%. Like, you got anything to share? Actually, yeah, I sent it to you, bro.
Yeah, dude. I sent it to you, dude. I'm like, that's why when you're asking me, I'm like, is this part of the show? What's going on? But no, guys, in all honesty, just like the guys were talking about, we have the ability to produce some really cool events. And on our end, we get the mix to end too. So, on a very high event caliber. There you go, Nate. I like it. See, I sent your email, bro. Look at that. You got it all. So.
Oh, I do have my email right here. I can just pull it up. You just keep talking, Jordan. Did we lose Jordan? Jordan's like,
are you muted?
Oh, definitely muted.
I think you muted yourself. Now it's definitely muted. I see the mute
I think
button.
his headphones died.
We are so professional right now. Oh, did your headphones die?
All right, screw the headphones, bro. Headphones are working. Nate doesn't throw my email stuff up, man. It's just not my day today. But in all fairness, the internet worked.
So there we go. That's it. True.
Yeah, we didn't drop you today. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. I mean, it's all good.
Now I got to echo with Jordan talking.
Stating before, we have the ability to do some really cool stuff over here at Explosive Entertainment. So a lot of it goes into event development. A lot of it goes into the build-up. A lot of it goes into our client. And I think that one of the big things that we do really well that separates us from the pack and things that I can kind of give to you guys is to really be able to listen to your clients. That's the big thing too, is that, when our clients come to us with an idea or a concept or some sort of vision, being that they've never actually executed it or done it before, it's up to us as the team to listen well and to kind of put all that into this melting pot of action and give them a great beginning, a middle, and an end. So, that's how each event kind of rock and rolls for us, to where starting off with that cocktail hour, we're up front and we're engaging, whether it's Papa Shop basketball, giant LED Pac-Man. It could be something as cool as like a live game show. We have great takes on In It to Win It, Jeopardy, Family Feud, that comes with an actual event host to where the kids are engaged from the get. A lot of times during cocktail hour, people are they don't know what to do, like they're kind of, it's this mingle period where it's like, hey, I might have this group of kids or these families that I know, and maybe I've never seen these people before. So it's up to us to bring everybody together. So, by the time that first hour's up and ready to rip and we're ready to hit that main ballroom, you're all on our team. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's comfortable. And they're like, all right, cool. We're going to rock for Ethan. So, you guys saw a couple of weeks ago the pictures that we had put up.
I got them up, Brad, if you want to post them.
Oh, you got them? Cool.
Yeah,
excellent.
They're here.
I love it. There you go. Nate doing the back end. This is at a spot called the Edison Ballroom, right in the middle of Midtown, right in Manhattan.
It's not going to be like the prettiest because I'm going straight from.
Good. But one of the main, there you go, the Edison Ballroom, we had that place lit up. And one of the cool parts about that is that this dude took Star Wars to the next level. So we had Asteratubes literally as lightsabers all over this venue. Top to bottom, start to finish. We DMX controlled them. And everything was super branded too. So if you see Ethan's logo there, that's the logo that we came up with. And it was on everything. So that's a big thing too, especially in the Mitzvah angle, is that, a little bit more than the weddings. Weddings, like, it's a little more elegant. Definitely more of a classy idea. This one, we're looking to turn up and have some fun. This one was like a rock concert, man. This kid ripped on the stage. He literally sang his whole introduction, playing clocks, and performing in front of his friends and family, like a 12-year-old, man, a 13-year-old kid. Like, at that age, like, to be able to kind of swallow it, get up on stage, perform your ass off, and not be an entertainer. He wasn't getting paid. It was his party. This kid was totally vested. I think when he walked into seeing the Edison Ballroom completely turned over and how it became Star Wars. I mean, we literally took this kid to the dark side. Like, it was awesome. And everything was like super branded Star Wars. We had a Star Wars virtual reality game where people put on the headset and you were literally fighting like, Darth Vader, and you were flying the Millennium Falcon and like all kinds of cool stuff. So I like the ability that we have to, take people out of their comfort zone, bring them to another planet, literally, and like have it all come together. And then, doing really cool stuff. We had a video wall on that. Shout out to the homie Josh Christie. Jeff, you know him real well. Nate, you know who I'm talking about. Josh did our production on that event and really knocked it out of the park with his team. So had a big LED video wall on that. We had some awesome LED staging. Like I said, the Astera light tubes were like the real key piece that brought it together. It really
don't rub it in. Jeff's kind of bitter about that.
Still waiting.
The whole dynamic.
Still waiting.
Soon, Jeff. Soon.
Oh, it was great, man. It was so good. Actually, if it wasn't for Nate, man, Nate got on me about that, man. He's like, yo, Jordan, these are the moves, man. That was the first time when I actually came out to you guys when COVID was hitting hard here in Jersey. I flew out and I visited, Nate and LaForce guys in Texas. And that was the first time I ever saw them in action. And, man, like, if you're still sleeping on these and you're not using them as some part of your show in one way, shape, or form, you're missing the boat, man. They are a higher price ticket. A little bit to get your show moving, but the investment, again, it's like the collective, the money, like, don't even look at the bottom line, because
Tony's going to teach a master class on how to program them and run them, because he is a beast.
Yo, can we dial that legit? Let's dial that in online. I would totally.
Dude, I'm in whatever. It's just those things are so cool because the creativity is endless with those things. You could take individual pixels of each tube, literally they had pixel tubes, but you could take the individual pixels on different tubes and match them to do the same things at different flow sets and sync sets, and you could have the lights go from one end to the other end of the room in a circle. Like, it's mind-blowing how much you can actually do.
Oh my god. And the design options, like, I literally saw Nate zip tie these things into that, like that, so that the wall that you have that you're sitting in front of, Jeff, that greenery wall, I literally watched Nate zip tie these tubes into the wall, so it looked like they were floating. At the event we did a corporate
silent disco.
We did a silent disco corporate party over by Nate out in Texas, and man, it just looks so dope, and it literally allows your show to become something different. I know out here in our end, in Jersey, Jeff, not a lot of people are messing with them. So I like, it's just one of those things where it just hasn't hit over here. And I love it because eventually it's going to, but I like that we're kind of one of the first people to kind of bring it to the show a little bit, and show, what it's capable of. So that whole event was great, and being able to build the dynamic and,
Brad, can you bring this in as we're talking about tubes?
Pretty cool.
I don't think I've shared this yet. This is an event Tony and I did.
Woo!
Let's see. This is over a head table. We ended up. This is a shot of the room. So they put a tent in. This is a grassed lawn, and they brought a tent in, and it's in a place called Eyeball Park. I think I drove you by that when you guys were down here.
Yes.
It's the party was at Jewel Hotel. This is from the Jewel. Looking at it, that eyeball is massive, and so this is the tent this is where the main reception was.
What'd you fly?
Bride and groom partying. No, so it's actually, they had aerialists come in. It's actually from the terrace floor where the ceremony was, looking down on it. This is the first dance shot. I absolutely love this shot. I think we ended up hanging 40 tubes in the sky for this one, Tony.
There was 38 on the head table. There were the 8 above, so 46. Yeah,
something like that for that. And then I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't think I can zoom in, but that's your boy officiating the wedding too, right there. Hey.
And then Nate, what happened during that ceremony? I remember a little song was sang.
Oh yeah, the bride and groom, she loved 50 Cent, so their vows when I asked them their intent, I was like, hey, it's easy to love him now, but would you love him if he was down and out? Would you still have love for him? And then she's like, yes. And then I'm like, yo, is it easy to love her now? And then I did the whole thing. And then I literally wrote in my script, like the whole thing, if he fell off tomorrow, would you still love him? Yes. And then I did the whole like first verse. And then I went to him and did the whole stuff on him. Or actually I went to him first and then her second. And then the line where it's like, would you leave him if your dad found out he was thugging? And she was like, no. Like I threw him off. They had no idea where I was going with it, but I did the whole thing. 50 Cent rapped it. And then at the end, when like the officiant usually comes up and is like, all right, guys, we're heading over to cocktail hour. You know, I'm like, all right, guys, you're going to see a lot more of me tonight. I'm also the MC and the DJ for the night. So we're going to head out to cocktail hour. I'll see you guys. I'm going to go costume change real quick and bounce out. And I was all in a gray suit for the ceremony. I went and changed into black for the reception and rocked it out. So that was a lot of fun as well.
Amazing, man.
But those tubes are so versatile, man. Like,
so dope.
Yep.
So
it
dope.
changes the game for sure.
Super game.
All right, I think we got to wrap it up, guys. We're over
man.
on time. Today flew by.
Great one.
You know, I want to kind of end today. You know, this is going to be our last time to meet with you guys and be here in 2021. So I just want to wish everybody a happy holidays, a happy new year. Jeff's got the party going. But I want to go around the room one more time, let everybody know who you are, where you're from, how you can connect with us.
Yes.
And then let us know. Some of you may have thought about this already. I've already thought about mine, but what is one of your New Year's resolutions going into 2022? Start with Jeff.
Oh, resolution for 2022?
Yeah, tell us who you are, where we can find you, how we can connect, and then one of your New Year's resolutions.
At Jeff Scott Gould anywhere or everywhere, and my resolution is to get those damn tubes delivered. That's my resolution. all the gear I ordered that's sitting on some freaking container in some ocean somewhere. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's it. Simple.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yo.
Tony Pre.
All right, guys. The Tony Pre here. Find me on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, everything at The Tony Pre. As you guys know, I am the better-looking younger brother of at DJ Nate Nelson. We get confused all the time. But my New Year's resolution for 2022 is just gonna have to be make more memorable events every day. Every day.
It's not waking up and being on time.
Hey, we're still working on that, Nate. We're still working on that.
Hey, man,
Just
the dude's
kidding.
from the East Coast, bro. You got a whole different time zone he's getting adjusted to, bro.
True.
I mean,
I
it's
get
been
it.
a year, so I should
I'm
be.
trying to help
But
you
he
out.
should be early with that
Help you
aspect,
out,
Jordan.
Tony.
He should be
Come on,
early.
man. Your boy's trying to get you back.
Nah, I
I
got him.
appreciate it.
He is. He's good. He's good. Tony. If I wasn't busting Tony's balls, something's wrong.
No,
Yeah,
dude.
that I know he's bad.
that means he
That's-
don't like you.
That's the truth. All right, Jordan Marshall.
Yes, guys. Jordan Marshall, I'm back, and I'm so happy to say that I have my Instagram handle back, so you can
Yes.
at V1 Jordan Marshall back again. I'm very excited about that. Rocking over here on the East Coast with the Explosive Entertainment guys, my partner Dylan Weissman, my partner Mike Langsner. As we roll into the 2021 holiday season, we are super thankful for all of you guys, our listeners, our loyal viewers, our loyal customers, both past, present, future. Thank you so much. Looking forward to a hashtag new you in 22, baby. And, you know, I think there's a lot that goes into that that's involved in the industry, both regarding music, event design, creativity, but also as our personal health and also our personal mindset. And, you know, guys, the four of us are, you know, only a small portion of the guys that put in the grind work. I mean, we know our clique, we know our crew, the people that we love to roll with that inspire us in this industry. And I know that you guys are all out there working just as hard and burning it on every single end. So the mental health is super, super key. Keeping the body like a temple. So the physical aspect, eating cleaner, keeping it cool. I'm at 40 years young, man. I feel 25, and I know Jeff Scott's got that same bug. You know, we just feel great. We do this, and it's our life. So in 2022, man, just putting it all together and looking forward to rocking and rolling. Like Tony said, just great events on the horizon, and super blessed, super thankful, and thankful for you guys and each and every one of you. So thank you. Happy holidays. Enjoy, guys.
Absolutely. And guys, I'm DJ Nate Nelson, and Dallas, Texas. You can find me at all things at DJ Nate Nelson. My New Year's resolution for 2022 is to get creative again on a music side. I used to do weekly mixes on Mixcloud and other things, and I can honestly say if it wasn't a Baylor football pregame mix, I didn't make a single mix
I'm with you
in
on that.
2021.
I'm with you. More musical content. I actually want to jump on that Christmas raid train if you got a spot for your boys. So let's talk.
Okay. Get in line.
Yeah,
I'm just playing.
Hey, listen, bro. I pulled my friend card, bro. I pulled my best friend card.
You painted a wall for this. I'll get you in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So guys, again, be on the lookout for that. Anything cool coming up? Anybody got anything crazy cool? I know the Twitch stream that I'm doing on the 22nd is going to be pretty dope. It's kind of a throwback.
I got my Engage Summit next week, so I'm super pumped about that.
Yeah, man, have fun with that. All the Engage people were here in Dallas last night, which is why I'm tired and didn't pull Jordan's stuff off of the emails.
It's okay. You're forgiven, bro. I love you. It's
Yeah.
Next time, just send them to me, Jordan.
It's all good.
Yeah, we'll have
The
Tony
better
do that.
looking version of Nate Nelson.
The better looking younger brother is
Right.
what he said.
Oh, it's gonna stick. I'm gonna put that in my Instagram bio now.
No, it could. Literally, people come up to Tony at weddings. They're like, "Hey, can you do this?" And he's like, "I'm not Nate."
And then they notice I have.
He's
I
fucking
have
bald.
hair.
I have hair. I don't know what you're talking about. So,
all right.
well, guys, thank you guys so much for being here with us and putting up with us all year long and last year. This has been a lot of fun to spend our Wednesday afternoons with you guys and just, cutting it up, chatting it up, chopping it up, whatever we say with you guys. We wish all of you a happy holidays and a happy new year, and we'll see you in
Happy belated Hanukkah. Happy belated
2022.
Hanukkah if you celebrate. Enjoy.